Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie. Today I have a review of one of my recently completed diamond painting kits. This is Clara and the Nutcracker from Diamond Art Club and the artist Miss Holly, and was part of Diamond Art Club's 2025 Christmas drop. When I saw that this kit was being released, this original artwork had immediately grabbed my heart. I remembered it from when it was in a voting round a while back and just really hoped it was gonna make it through voting and get produced. So when I saw that it was, I just knew immediately that this was one of those drop everything to work on right away kinds of diamond paintings. I don't know if you guys ever have that kind of experience. I knew. And I'm a seasonal kind of diamond painter where I don't typically want to work on Christmassy or wintry kits when it's not like the Christmas or winter season. So I really try to take advantage when it's in these holiday months to go ahead and work on kits that are representative of that holiday. And I knew this was a bigger one and was potentially going to take me a little bit longer to work on. So I went ahead and got started on it right away. I think it was around Black Friday-ish, a little bit before, and surprisingly found myself perfectly happy to work on a Christmassy kit that early, where normally that's not always the case. Anyway, I digress. My goal with these reviews is just to give you a really good sense for what a particular company has to offer, like kind of broad strokes, features like drill quality, canvas, rendering style, that sort of thing. It's also to give you a really specific look at a specific kit so you can decide, okay, is this kit one that I would like to add to my collection or work on soon, that kind of thing. And also to just share on a more subjective level just what my own personal experience was like of working on a kit. So you're going to hopefully get to see it from a variety of different angles, and I hope you find this helpful is really my goal. If you want to see other reviews of completed paintings, I have a couple of options for you. I have a dedicated post-review playlist, which are individual videos I've done of individual kits over the years. And I typically make a priority out of doing these dedicated videos for shops besides Diamond Art Club. This kit was just so special, I wanted to go ahead and do its own video. But because Diamond Art Club tends to be very consistent in terms of quality, and there's lots of videos available out there talking about completed DAC kits, that's why I tend to show a lot of other companies just that you might not be as familiar with. But yeah, you could take a look at that post review playlist if you want to see. There's some DAC kits in there, and there's also other shops. I also do month in review playlists if you want more of month in review videos. I have a month in review playlist rather. If you want more of a snapshot look of the different kits that I've completed each month, where those are usually just a few minutes reviewing each kit instead of a dedicated video. So whatever you're looking for, hopefully I have it. And like I said, my goal is just truly to be helpful in helping you really decide where you want to spend your money and your time, because those things are invaluable. So without further ado, we got to talk about this kit. Let's start with the basics, the foundational stuff, the objective stuff, and that's the stats and specs and stuff. So I have my paper logbook where I track my diamond paintings once I start working on them. This one is filling up. I'm going to be having to start a new one soon, which is always really fun. So here's my page for Clara and the Nutcracker. It's by Miss Holly. It's from Diamond Art Club. Size is a pretty good size, 88.9 by 65 centimeters. It has 66 colors, square drills. I started it on November 24th and finished it on December 7th. Here's kind of my 234th finish overall, all my diamond paintings, and my 35th for this year. Confetti, I gave it a 5 out of 10. I kind of waffled on what to rank it, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. Enjoyment, 9 out of 10. I loved this kit, you guys. Drill count was around 93,000 diamonds. And then I write notes like what I loved, meh, that kind of thing. I was really struggling to come up with meh things, quite honestly. So that's the subjective stuff, or objective stuff rather, for the most part. And then drills. It's usual Diamond Art Club solid quality square drills. I'm trying to think, I don't know that I really had any trash prone colors in this one. I certainly did not have any colors I was in danger of running out of. I had plenty left over, especially for some of these dark colors that there was a lot of in this kit. I had like overflow. I kitted this project up in one of my whip and chats, and you saw me trying to just so fit it in one tray and several colors. I was like, well, I'm just gonna have multiple bags that I'm gonna have to refill as I go. So that's what I did. Special drills, we had these fairy dust diamonds in the mix. We had purple, yellow, kind of a hot pink, a red, and a gray. The gray was probably my favorite. I'll show you where we find that. And then just two ABs, a white and a yellow AB. And I don't think there were really any super trash prone colors. Diamond Art Clip squares tend to be some of the better quality, if not the best quality squares on the market, and I don't tend to have major complaints with them. They've made a lot of improvements over the years, and generally speaking, I'm really happy with their current square drills. So here is kind of a more bird's eye view look at this kit. I could write this in the meh column, and that's how freaking hard it is to photograph and show this kit, because it really is primarily darker colors, and maybe something about like how Diamond Art Club's drills are faceted at this point, which I think they've kind of moved back to. They're moving to like a 15 facet diamond that's more flat on the top. It is so hard to photograph, especially darker colors, and not have wild glare. It was a whole thing. My husband watching me just like run around the house trying to find different spots, either at night with artificial light or during the day with natural light. Be like, okay, I need just enough light in this way. And I struggled. It was a real struggle. I don't know why it was so hard, but it was. But there you go. So if you're seeing glare, I am so sorry. It feels like there's just nothing I can do short of installing a whole like new crazy lighting situation in my home. Anyway, this kit, it was fun that it feels like it was keeping true to this sort of unexpected theme of this year, where I've enjoyed working on kits with darker color palettes a lot more than I expected. I was a little nervous going into this one because if you look at the original artwork, let me pull that back out. You can see that it is a bit on the darker side because of the lighting of it, right? It's very like the striking lighting. The point of it is kind of this really cool backlighting from the fire and whatnot. There's a glow to it. And so I just was a tiny bit nervous. I thought, how is this going to be to actually work on? Is it going to feel really like dour and dark and heavy? And I would never in a million years describe it that way. I found this to be the words I kept coming back to, very warm and cozy. The colors, especially like the reds, were so rich, and just there was a certain kind of vibrancy to them. Not like in your face vibrancy, but just there was a depth to them. I don't know how to put it. I'm not an artist. I really enjoyed them a lot. Even like the shades of darker blues in the tree. It was, even though I did note I did get a little bit bored of working on tree branches. It also felt very zen, and I love the way that it turned out. Like, you can see and feel the textures of these materials, these fabrics. One thing that was a surprise to me was that there's a pattern in the wallpaper. I definitely did not notice that in the original artwork, and so there was more confetti going on than I expected on the wall. I'm calling it wallpaper. It looks like wallpaper with that kind of pattern, but it was fine. It felt very zen. The drills were so easy to work with. There was a decent amount of, if not color blocking, there was some line blocking. I was able to use my multi-placer. A lot of these sections went faster than you might have expected. The slower sections were the ones that had like plants. You know how I feel about landscapes. It almost extends to like plants in general. Wreath, Christmas tree, there was more confetti going on in those. But overall, I'm just so pleased personally with the rendering of this one. I just think it's so, so lovely and truly, truly, truly does justice to the original artwork in my own opinion. I should post this on Instagram and, maybe see what Miss Holly, I know she's active over there. I wonder what she thinks of this. I hope she's really happy with how it translated. But you know what I think I want to do next? Because there's some different things I also want to talk about. I'm going to zoom you in because there's a lot of really cute little details in this that I think will be more fun to talk about if you can actually see it a little bit better. And hopefully that'll help us avoid some glare too. So let's zoom in. So one of my favorite parts about this piece and working on it was there were different sections I would work on, and when I'd finish and step back, I'd be like, oh, there's another mouse. And so even this I actually didn't realize until I completed it, but like this is the Mouse King or the Rat King, depending on Nutcracker lore. We just see him like from the back, but like he's the one mouse in this piece that is like wearing a cloak, and you can see he's wearing a crown, and he's sitting on top of this hobby horse. It's so cute. I thought that the rendering of the different ornaments on the tree was really pretty. There's a special drill, like a yellow AB, and I think there's a fairy dust in there too. It just gives them this really pretty glow, and it's this sense of like the firelight, like what it's glinting off of and how it's hitting the room is really coming through really clearly in this, in my opinion. We have these cute little candy canes on the tree, and then at the top of the tree we have a couple of mice, again, peeking out and looking. And these mice and the others you're going to see, this is where the gray AB is going to be found. I love that gray AB placement. It's so pretty and just gives it like a little bit of attention to these mice that you otherwise they might just blend right into the background. I thought the star at the top of the tree was really pretty. It has like a glow and sparkle to it. Clara and the Nutcracker, how cute are they? I thought their faces, in my opinion, I thought they turned out really well. I have to imagine this was really hard to render, given the lighting, given the size. I thought it was really nice. And look, there's a mouse back here. He's like, what you doing? What are you doing, guys? Super cute. I thought the rendering on her dress was beautiful. There's a purple fairy dust in here that was just lovely. When I worked on this piece, I started on the outside columns and saved these middle two columns with these characters for last. And it was really nice, actually, to get to these sections with her dress and those shades of purple. It was a nice way to mix it up from the other colors. I thought even her shoes were really prettily rendered too. There's purple fairy dust in the like ribbons on her shoes. And then if we pop over this way, you're going to see not only another mouse, sorry, I bumped the camera, but we have these cute little blocks with C and N for Clara and the Nutcracker that I thought was just, it's too much. It's too cute. This pillow just looks like it glows. In the original artwork, it really has that effect too. And then we have two more mice, again with some of the gray ABs sitting on the chair, just watching, observing. Again, so cute. And I thought even little things like how the snow was depicted outside the window was so pretty. And there's also these, I don't know if they're magic motes. I think they are, because I don't think there's sparks coming off the fire. I don't think that sparks would fly quite that far away, but I thought that added a nice little bit of like just magic to the air. But this is also some areas you can see like I had some color blocking. It was really nice. One thing I did run into is this is one of the kits where I really started to notice the difference between the drills and the changes that Diamond Art Club is making. To be honest with you, I used to really keep close track and be like, okay, this has the new drills, the new 20 facet drills, or this has the old 13 facet drills, and oh no, this has the like pointy top drills. I have mostly stopped trying to keep track of that because I have so many kits from so many different time periods from Diamond Art Club in my collection. I just can't keep track. And can I pick up the drills? Can I place the drills? Are they not trash prone? Great. Awesome. But sometimes when I complete a kit or I finish a section, I'll run my hand over it to see like, oh, are there any drills sticking up at all that need to just be like pushed down or something? And I really noticed with this kit, like, okay, from this brighter red color to this darker red, there's like, these are the pointy tops, and these I think are the new 15 facet ones. And so I noticed that. And for some of my fellow neurospicy friends that will notice sensory differences like that there's that, as I did notice that difference. But even from kit to kit, if you got the same kit, I don't think it would be a guarantee that it's going to have a particular same like facet drill in the same color, because it's part of the transition, right? When they're moving from one kind of drill to another, it's going to have a transition period. And so anyway, I just thought I would mention it. So that's a look at it up close, along with being kind of further back. Like I said, really struggled to come up with other things that I didn't necessarily love about this kit. There were some little things like, I was like, oh, could the clock have had like a little bit more clarity to it? Maybe, I don't know. But overall, this just was a beautifully rendered kit, and I thought it's just exactly what I wanted from working on this artwork. I think probably one of the reasons that I ranked this one so high in terms of enjoyment was because I started this kit after having completed 2 kits that were otherwise kind of a lackluster experience. I didn't really love them. And what I needed was a kit that just was gonna, as I always say, bring me a lot of joy. And this was that. I found myself just eager to work on it, reaching for it all the time, and genuinely loving the process of working on it, even areas that I otherwise would have, at another time, I might have really burned out fast on like the areas, the sections with the Christmas tree. But in this case, it all just felt like, oh, this is just such a breath of fresh air. This is just what I wanted, just what I needed. And so taking that into account, that's probably why I enjoyed it so much. But I think no matter what, I still would have really liked it. It doesn't hurt that, like, I think I said this up front, but Diamond Art Club has all of what I call the usual suspects going for it that I know that I never really have to worry about, which is like, I like the canvas material. I like the glue. The symbol clarity is great, and the drill quality is great, and I usually really like the rendering. So I have all those things like going in my favor that I feel like, okay, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to like at least a good amount of working on this kit, and the foundational stuff is going to be there. Diamond Art Club does carry kits in stock. So while there are a lot of shops out there that do made to order, Diamond Art Club, when they sell their kits, because they have them on hand. The downside of that is that really popular artwork, like this one was during the Christmas drop, it sells out, and we don't always know how long it's going to be until they do a restock. It can be months. So best suggestion that I have for you, if you're watching this and this is out of stock as of the time of you watching it, I would highly recommend signing up for a back in stock notification email, as well as adding it to your wish list. I believe that Diamond Art Club uses these things to potentially take into account if and when and how many they restock of a particular kit. So I highly recommend doing that if this is a must-have for you. There are also de-stash groups that you can check on, like Facebook, and there are third-party websites like eBay and Poshmark and Mercari and stuff that are options as well. But if this is one you're hoping to work on during the next holiday season, I really hope you're able to track it down. And really, my hope is that with this review that you will be able to decide like if it is a must-have for you or if it's not, which is also totally fine. But for me, this was a win all around. I really, really did enjoy so much about working on this kit. And it was also a goal of mine to work on a Miss Holly kit this holiday season, because I have several Miss Holly, like Christmassy, Yule, wintry kits. I was like, I have to work on one of these this year. I love her artwork, and it's well overdue. And this was the one. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to check out my other playlists linked below, including a post-review playlist of other completed kits I've reviewed, my month in review playlist for more snapshot looks at kits, along with, if you want to subscribe, I would love to have you here. I do unboxings and reviews like this one from a variety of different companies, along with weekly whip and chats if you want some company while you're crafting on Monday mornings. And I also do other diamond painting related stuff and would love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I hope you are doing very, very well and that you have a day and a week as wonderful as you are. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.